Something seems wrong. Late at night. Josue sat cross-legged on the ground, operating the peerless cultivation technique, Gu Divine Scripture, which he had obtained from the supreme treasure, Gu God Bowl. This cultivation technique could refine countless Gu worms in the world and make them his own, which was infinitely useful and could be called a divine ranked cultivation technique. Swoosh, swoosh. He saw heaven and earth's spiritual chi entering his body, flowing into his meridians, causing the true essence within him to increase little by little. Slow, it's really too slow. After completing 108 cycles, Josue opened his eyes and stopped cultivating. A helpless expression appeared on his face. The efficiency of increasing true essence within his body was simply too slow. Even though he cultivated a divine rank cultivation technique, it would take at least 2 to 3 years to advance to Summer Solstice Realm Level 2. The reason for this situation was his extremely poor aptitude, which was merely a 9th grade spiritual root. One must know that the aptitude in this world also had different grades, ranging from 9th grade spiritual root to 1st grade spiritual root, with 9th grade being the worst and 1st grade being the best. 9th grade to 7th grade were considered low-grade spiritual roots, 6th grade to 4th grade were mid-grade spiritual roots, and 3rd grade to 1st grade spiritual root were high-grade spiritual roots. To join a sect like Immortal Cloud Sect, one must at least have a mid-grade spiritual root. As for low-grade spiritual roots, they could only be loose cultivators, no sect would recruit them as a disciple. Beyond 1st grade spiritual root was heavenly spiritual root. Upon reaching this realm, if one possessed a heavenly spiritual root, people from various sects would flock to them, because cultivators with a heavenly spiritual root would inevitably become foundation establishment cultivator, and there was even a high possibility of becoming golden core cultivators. However, people with such aptitude were few and far between. In any case, he had never seen such a top genius. Forget it, I won't cultivate anymore. Continuing to cultivate diligently will not result in any progress in my cultivation. Josue was very helpless. He now understood how difficult it was for cultivators with low aptitude. Every step they took required a lot of time, and even until their death, they might not be able to advance to chi refining stage 9th level, let alone become a foundation establishment cultivator. Unless there were various spirit medicine and medicinal pill to assist, otherwise, their cultivation would not break through in a short period of time. No wonder his previous self didn't like to cultivate much. No matter how he cultivated, he couldn't make any progress, and there was no sense of accomplishment. Anyone would be discouraged by such torment. Whoosh. Thinking of this, Josue left his room and went to the courtyard to relax and vent his frustration. Taoist Joe. But at this moment, a beautiful figure had already appeared in the courtyard, dressed in white pajamas, revealing her stunning figure, truly a stunner under the moonlight. She was the long-legged older sister, Ji Bingyu. It's Taoist Ji, the night is long, can't Taoist Ji sleep either? Seeing such an older sister, Josue almost lost control and felt his blood boil, but he still endured it. After all, the other party was a late stage of chi refining cultivator. If he completely offended her, even if he were killed, there would be nowhere to seek justice. Although he had already planted the affection Gu on her, it was hard to say when it would take effect. In any case, he needed to act cautiously. Yes, is Taoist Joe the same as me? Ji Bingyu took a deep breath. The moment she saw Josue, she felt her heart almost jump out. Because thinking of being under the same roof with this man, her heart would nervously accelerate, often overthinking. She, who should have entered a cultivation state long ago, found that no matter what she did, she couldn't enter samadhi cultivation. So she had no choice but to walk out of her room, but she never expected that she would actually encounter Josue, who happened to walk out of his room. Was this the so-called fate? Thinking of this, her pretty face immediately turned red, and her heartbeat kept accelerating. However, Josue didn't notice her abnormality and replied, yes, cultivating is really too difficult. After cultivating for several hours, my cultivation still can't improve. I feel frustrated, so I wanted to leave the room for a walk. He was very helpless. If he could improve his spiritual root aptitude, cultivating would definitely not be as difficult as it was now. Taoist Joe, no need to worry. Cultivating is always difficult at first and then easy. As long as you overcome this difficulty, I believe Taoist Joe will surely have a bright future. I believe Taoist Joe will definitely become a foundation establishment cultivator, or even a golden core true person, in the future. Ji Bingyu felt her heart almost jump out. Looking at Josue's troubled appearance, she was simply overjoyed. Ah, cute, this man's troubled appearance was really too cute. How could there be such a cute man in the world? She really wanted to hug him tightly and dote on him fiercely. In her eyes, Josue now looked like a cat or a puppy that had been wronged. Her inner pity and love constantly surged, almost making her lose control. Then thank you, Taoist Ji, for your kind words. Hearing this, Josue's mood also improved a lot. It seemed that the effect of this affection Gu was indeed good, at least it increased the other party's favorability towards him. Perhaps after some time, his intimacy with the other party would continue to rise. But then again, fellow Taoist, your aptitude is ordinary, and your parents seem to have passed away. Your cultivation is only Summer Solstice Realm Level 1, so life in Cloud Mist City must be very difficult for you. Ji Bingyu changed the subject. It is indeed difficult, but fortunately, my parents left me a house, and with the rent, I can barely maintain my life. Josue admitted this point. Perhaps you can maintain your life, but fellow Taoist, you are only at Summer Solstice Realm Level 1, yet you own a valuable house in Cloud Mist City. You will probably be targeted by many ill-intentioned cultivators. Ji Bingyu hinted at something. It is indeed as Taoist Ji said, there are indeed many ill-intentioned people. Fortunately, the public order in Cloud Mist City is quite good, and no one has dared to lay a hand on me yet. If my cultivation improves, perhaps there will be fewer covetous people. Zhou Sui said. Cultivation improvement. According to your aptitude, when will your cultivation improve? By then, your cultivation might not have improved, and you might have already been assassinated by ill-intentioned loose cultivators. I think fellow Taoist might need to find a backer to protect this house. Ji Bingyu's beautiful eyes flickered. What do you mean? Zhou Sui was a little bewildered. Although he vaguely guessed something in his heart, he dared not admit it. Fellow Taoist is also a smart person. You must know very well that I, Ji Bingyu, am a Qi refining stage 9th level cultivator. Even in the entire Cloud Mist City, besides the Foundation Establishment Immortal Master, no one can do anything to me. If you get my protection, fellow Taoist, you can naturally rest easy and cultivate with peace of mind. Other loose cultivators who want to covet you will have to ask if the sword in my hand is sharp or not. Ji Bingyu said with a smile. This. Zhou Sui was completely bewildered. He began to feel that something was wrong. Now, this long-legged older sister in front of him seemed to have become a villain, eyeing him menacingly, intending to intimidate and occupy him, a young maiden in the prime of her life. Although he wanted something to happen with this long-legged older sister, it wasn't in this form. Taoist Zhou, don't hesitate. Even if you don't comply today, you have to comply. To be honest, from the first time I saw you, I wanted to have you. Ji Bingyu was very domineering. She directly picked up Zhou Sui in her arms and walked towards the room. You. Zhou Sui tried his best to struggle, but how could a mere summer solstice realm level 1 cultivator be a match for a Qi refining stage 9th level cultivator? His weak resistance only made this woman more excited.